What's frightening here is that this is a time when people are taking their kids to school. Children are walking to school. It looked like just a moment ago he went through a school zone, and he's driving with complete disregard for everyone on the street, it looks like.
Yeah. Absolutely. He has been driving incredibly fast here. Now westbound on Honolulu, coming up towards, once again, the 210 freeway here. He has been kind of coming around this general vicinity for the past several minutes, but he has, it does appear that he may kind of be familiar with the area. We've seen that before, time and time again, with particular pursuits where the suspect kind of goes into a neighborhood that he is most familiar with, and that may be, in fact, the case in this situation here. This suspect has been spending quite a bit of time in the La Crescenta area. Right turn on Foothill Boulevard here, and again, this guy is driving at incredibly high rates of speed, given the fact that he is on surface streets, and Frank mentioned just a moment ago, passing through school zones, and that has certainly been the case here. And so, just with total disregard to commuters, to folks on the streets, pedestrians, he is putting himself in danger. He is putting everyone else in danger, and this is certainly a situation that we don't, want to see come to a bad end here. We hope that, given the circumstances, that he does, in fact, give up.
If you're just joining us here at the top of the hour, 8:01 in Southern California, you're looking at live pictures on the KTLA Morning News of a police pursuit in progress. Mark Kono telling us that this is what's called a 211 suspect. That is someone who is involved in a robbery or an armed robbery of some kind. He is in the La Crescenta, Montrose area. Some of the streets involved, Pennsylvania, Honolulu. This is right around the 210 freeway and Foothill Boulevard. There are schools in this vicinity, and if you are taking your children to school this morning in this area, or your child walks to school in this area, obviously take great caution in this particular neighborhood.
And this guy seems to have some ability to navigate these streets. Seemingly, he may, in fact, know the area. We just don't know at this point. But he is just on the south side of the 210 freeway here, coming up once again on Pennsylvania. Here we'll see if he makes that right turn southbound, but he continues to go eastbound just on the south side of the 210 freeway here. Again, driving at very high rates of speed here. It looks like he may have been smoking something. It looks like, his windows are opened a short time ago. He was seen waving, and so, again, slightly erratic behavior, you might guess. And so coming out of the La Crescenta area in a little bit closer towards the Montrose area, towards Spar Heights for some of us who know the area here, the northern part of Glendale, La Crescenta, Spar Heights, and that is kind of the direction he is heading towards right now, kind of eastbound on the 210 freeway, just on the south side, heading over towards, say, the 2 freeway. So we are just coming southbound now on a smaller residential street, and so this guy is just making his way through the neighborhood as fast as he can, evading some of the sheriff's department deputies who are trying to pursue him, basically.
Well, and right through intersections, you saw it says stop or stop ahead. He's running right through these intersections, creating an incredible hazard and danger to people who are in this
area here, both north and southbound, south of the 210 freeway. There is a very likely chance that this guy, if he continues on his track here, may come through the neighborhood here. So definitely want to stay indoors, stay off the streets at this point until they are able to bring this guy into custody here. This guy is traveling at incredibly high rates of speed, blowing through intersections, blowing through stop signs, pedestrians on the street, commuters on the street. It's a miracle that he hasn't done some major damage at this point. Now, as we were coming to air, we did see him at one particular intersection where it looked like he actually couldn't make the turn and got stuck in an intersection, and that's when sheriff's deputies were coming up on him, but he just simply reversed and backed out of that situation, and the pursuit was on again. And so this guy, given the circumstances, it seems like he is determined to not be captured at this point.
And we're just getting word, listening to our scanners, our news desk, that police may be backing off a little bit, because I'm sure that's the discussion police have when in a situation like this. Do you continue to pursue when you put everyone else at risk?
And everybody, all of the supervisors in the field have that ability to try to de-escalate a situation like this by sort of pulling back. In fact, you saw just a moment ago this suspect drive right by a law enforcement vehicle, and the law enforcement vehicle did not join into the pursuit. Clearly, they have air coverage here, so they know where this guy is. If you back off on the ground, it perhaps might signal to the person, okay, I don't have to drive as fast through these neighborhoods. I can still make my quote-unquote getaway and not have to put so many people in danger in the process. They can follow him in a helicopter and at some point come up with a plan to move in on him or get him onto a freeway, put him in a situation where he is trapped, do something to capture him. But as you can see, he is seemingly slowing down. Perhaps that is working. Is that your sense, Mark, or is he starting to speed up again?
Yeah, definitely. It does appear that he is slowing down over the course of the past minute, maybe 2 minutes here. The sheriff's department has kind of backed off, and so that is sort of welcome news because at the incredibly high rates of speed that they were going on these streets, it's just a miracle that there hasn't been some kind of an accident or something.
Mark, given the fact that he is essentially doing the same track over and over again.
Oh, look at him now, look at him now.
Wow, up onto the median
he's
now.
He's in the center divider.
And driving on the grass through the median and now right into an intersection.
And once again being pursued by Sheriff's Department deputies who are about a half a block behind him, just now turning northbound on what might be Pennsylvania. We'll try and get the cross for you here, but just now turning northbound, coming up to the 210 freeway. So this guy, and now he's making a U-turn. Now he's making a U-turn, making his way down towards Montrose once again. So he is, you know, definitely... it appears, knows the general vicinity here. He is back in La Crescenta. He is back over to Montrose, making his way east. Back in that same routine, that merry-go-round, Honolulu, Montrose, over to Pennsylvania, northbound, over to Foothill Boulevard, maybe a street north of Foothill. He'll come off to the east and then come down Ramsdale. He'll come down one of those streets, and he just seems to be making big circles around the general area here. So there he is on Foothill Boulevard, making a right turn again. We've seen this familiar path that he has taken, and so this may be an opportune time for officers or sheriff's deputies to consider at least employing the spike strips. We don't know that that is the case, but it might be an opportune time given the fact that he's in an area that he has been circling or is known to circle over the past several minutes here. Guys?
Of course, one of the concerns deploying a spike strip is that if the suspect sees the spike strip being deployed, he makes an evasive maneuver of some kind or becomes even more aggressive in his driving, and in that process, you know, has a traffic collision or hits a pedestrian or another motorist, or drives into a house or something. So, you know, these are all things that the field supervisors are weighing.
It seems to me that he is continuing to go westbound. He's about halfway between Foothill Boulevard and the lower end of the mountain range there, and so he just continues westbound as we approach.
Is he holding something?
Is he holding? Yeah, okay. It looks like he was holding his hand out the window, possibly even dropping something out the window here.
He just threw something over the
maybe
roof of the vehicle onto the sidewalk there. Don't know what it was, but yes, he was holding something out and he threw it over his own roof.
Yeah, hopefully units behind him might be able to stop and at that particular intersection and pick up whatever it was he was trying to get rid of. But he continues to drive at a fairly slow rate of speed, I would guess, and so he's just continuing westbound in towards Tujunga, and we'll see what he does. But a handsaw is what we're being told he threw out, and so wow, okay. Some pretty erratic behavior, as we can see here, but he continues on the move.
11, he was using force of some kind to rob someone. So, by definition, this is a dangerous suspect who has already indicated that he's willing to be violent. And his aggressive driving is further evidence of that. I mean, it is a weapon that he's driving. In effect, you know, he's driving a 2,500-pound weapon that can then hurt or kill people. And he's, I mean, clearly driving erratically. He just did a donut in the middle of the street. And who knows? Maybe he's looking to see if law enforcement is behind him. Maybe he's just, who knows? We can't. Now he's driving up onto the side of the street.
Yeah, he's just coming up on Sheriff's, as he makes a U-turn here, he's just coming up on Sheriff's deputies here, and he just kind of evades and makes a right turn. Now he's again southbound, it looks like he's accelerating again, so he's coming through the neighborhood here. This is Tahunga. We'll try and get a street for you here, but he's southbound through a residential neighborhood and accelerating actually at a very high rate of speed. We do, as he was making that U-turn, he was just coming head-on with a couple of Sheriff's deputies there and a couple of cruisers, and that prompted a right turn southbound through the neighborhood here, and that is why he was accelerating, I would guess, at a fairly high rate of speed to get, well, to build a distance between he and the deputies who are pursuing him. But now he is once again coming up on Foothill Boulevard in about half a block here, and we'll see what he decides to do. It'll be either a left turn or a right turn on Foothill Boulevard once he gets there, and he's just about there, and it's a right turn on Foothill Boulevard, so it's going to be westbound now, continuing west in towards the Tahunga area. Back on Foothill Boulevard, his maneuver right here, and so, wow, look at that. He is going to go against, wow, okay, going against traffic there, going against the flow of traffic, making his way over to the right as he merges onto Foothill Boulevard once again off to the west. And so westbound on Foothill Boulevard coming out of the Tahunga area. Eventually he will come up on Lakeview Terrace, will be coming on Sunland Boulevard, will be coming up to the 210 freeway here. So, you know, it does appear that this person may have some knowledge of the foothill communities here. When we first picked it up, he was in La Crescenta. He went over to La Cañada Flint Ridge before making his way back to La Crescenta and Montrose and ultimately Tahunga, where we are right now. But now he's making a northbound turn over towards the mountains, and now he's turned west once again, and so he is just kind of weaving in and out of the neighborhoods here. He has no regard, it appears, for you know, traffic on the main street or traffic in the neighborhoods. This is at Tahunga. This is Woodward, just north of Foothill. In fact, he's just turned west off of Woodward here, just 1 block north of Foothill Boulevard. So this is Tahunga. This the driver of this vehicle, seemingly driving at a very slow rate of speed at this time. A pit maneuver being performed by the CHP, and now they have actually just spun him, and we're going to try and get some position here. He is actually going backwards now on this street, and so are they going to attempt something further? So you just saw the CHP pit the guy, and CHP incidentally took over the pursuit just a short while ago from the LA County Sheriff's Department here. He continues to drive backwards. They're going to try and continue to pit him, and so that is what they are doing here. Are they going to be able to immobilize the car? It certainly looks so at this point, so we will stay right here, and hopefully they will be able to take this guy into custody. There is several officers here, CHP officers, who are now with guns drawn ordering this person out of the car. He has yet to comply, and so with the windows rolled up, I believe it's hard to make out exactly what he's kind of going through right now, but we certainly hope that he complies and yields and comes out of the car peacefully. What's happening is the air unit above is basically coordinating the situation here. They are basically removing some of the other officers out of the crossfire, as we were talking about. They are making sure that the safety of the civilians who are in the immediate area is secured, so they don't want any pedestrians, they don't want any commuters, any motorists coming down the street. So they are in the process of basically closing this street down, and so over the course of the next several minutes you will see that.
And the doors opening,
in fact, but there you go. The door's opening. The guy's coming out and down on his knees, hands you know, behind his back, and he is going to be hopefully taken into custody here over the course of the next few moments. We do have a team of officers, again, with guns drawn. A couple of them will be coming up to this person, the arresting team, and they will slowly take this person into custody. You see him basically on his knees, moving backwards very slowly, and one officer makes the approach and grabs his right arm, and they are going to take this guy into custody. It looks at this point as if he is complying, you know, put your hands over here, put your hands over there, and they're basically going to take him into custody. You have a second officer with a dog, a canine, ready to go should the suspect make any false moves, and so it doesn't appear that that is going to be the case. This guy has been taken into custody, and so he will be brought over and again taken into custody here. Now the next step is going to be to clear the vehicle, but again, the end of a pursuit here ending peacefully in Sunland.